All right, so Little Blue, like I said, when we had him with Little Mama, they were very shy. He's come a hugely long way, so I kind of have to break down to you what I did by example. So at first, I said I got the dried mango. I had to get them off the dried mango because it was just too much. And you can see he's already like ready. He's like, all right, I'm here. So, when they didn't just take the mango, I would just, like drop it in their bowl, and they would see that me coming by would associate with food, but I first give him the option to come up here. So he knows station. This is his station in his cage. So station. Good. And he'll wait there. He used to not wait there. So this is something we've really built on, okay? So when he was first doing it, anywhere we'd come for the food, whether it was here or here. I used to teach Little Mama to station here and him there, so we got a little more advanced. So we got all these steps broken down. Station, and we just built on it. So then he would station here, and then we started to build on it from there. So once he was friendly, we added the target, and we would start to teach him, and there's lots of videos on target training. Target, target, good. This is just little bitty pieces of millet. If you think your bird won't work for millet, once you treat them to, they'll work for millet. You just can't have their cage choke full of millet the whole time. Otherwise they'll be like, I don't care about more millet. Alright, so target. Good, target. And again, we built to this, okay? So first it's just a matter of doing something like this, where they'll happen to touch the stick. Good, good target. And if they're afraid of it, there's other steps you have to do too if they're afraid of it to get them, more brave. So, you hold it up here and you say, it's okay, you can get the treat. So all these little baby steps, and always watching for fear signs, flattening of the feathers, turning the head away, and then just plain jumping away. But you can prevent them just plain jumping away if you build. So target, target, come on at the end, good, target. And refinement comes later again, so he now knows he's supposed to touch the tip of the target, not just anywhere down the shaft. So if I stick this in here, target, target. That's not it. Target. He says, but you're right there. Target. Oh, all right, we'll count that one. He was trying, so we always reward an effort. He said, what if I just hold it longer? And I said, okay, I'll give it to you. We don't want to discourage him. So then from there, like I said, around Thanksgiving, unfortunately, Little Mama passed away, so I said, okay, we're definitely going to accelerate your training. He was already coming down on the door for the target, which was really nice. And he was also stepping up for his evening treat. Spin, spin. Good, spin. So just drawing him down here with the target, getting him, just simple things in the cage still where he feels secure, and just getting him to do the treat on the hand. Just, again, baby steps, every day a little something, and then as you develop more tools, more training tools, you can mix it up. So he's already so advanced, he does all sorts of things. Whoops, too much, come here. So, he always knows to go to the ball. So if I can just find the ball, I can speed this up. We teach him things like going in the towel. So he's supposed to target to my finger tapping, but we need to work on that more. So here's one thing that he doesn't do well. If I tap, he's supposed to come and get this treat. So that's usually just a matter of having the treat down and getting his attention. But if he sees me put it down, that's kind of cheating. So we're just building on it. Can you spin? Can you spin? Good. There. It's harder for him on a door. He does it really well on a finger. That's just luring behavior. Once he's comfortable with your hands wiggling all over. If he's not there yet, again, baby steps. I'm making it all look easy. This has been going on over months. Where is it now? Where is it now? So baby steps, getting him out of the house. We used to let them out, him and Mama, and he just, they just be standing on top going, I want to go back in, I want to go back in. So we just did these baby steps, getting them on the door where they're still happy, and that way they can learn that they can just go in whenever they want. One point, he and Little Mama got out, and he was still barbing very heavily. He's doing a lot better now. Mama flew over there. He started freaking out in his cage. I was able to lure Little Mama back and also get him on my hand kind of almost simultaneously. the budgies talking. Hi, budgies. So all these little things. And then we can do a tour of his cage. So if we look at his cage, he's got a very nice broad cage, right? He has a boing, which works really nicely for him because he can just reach from one to the other. If I can get him to show you. Sit up there. Now he might just climb up because it's his favorite thing to do if he doesn't come flying towards me. But he can just reach and climb up. He's got his swing here. I move his toys around just about every day, if not every other day. But that's a little intense because he is a barber. If you have a neophobic bird, a bird that's afraid of novel things, you're not at that level yet. And never discount the simple thing, a piece of paper. So I just put these in a few days ago, and he's chewing them up. And then once these start to get ratty, they're pieces of paper, I just, throw them to the bottom of the cage and let them do that. So I close this up just for the lighting, but like I said, it's normally pretty open. I'll hide little treats here, little pieces of oats, and then I'll hide them here. And he finally started playing with this. He never used to go back on this shelf. But once I kind of lured him over using the target and sprinkled some treats around, he realized he can go over here and look for treats. He's got a bell, he's got different things to shred. For his size, these are pretty safe, but I'd always watch them. If he started to splinter off, I'd probably just rotate them out. But he's not likely to swallow them anyways, and they're not going to splinter sharp if they're bird safe. And then we just have more stuff over here. He hasn't really messed with this. Eventually I'll be able to hide some treats in there. He's just got a little thing here. He loves his little cacti. These are called birdie kebabs. They're really amazing. They come in different sizes, including a giant pack. We'll do more on that later. This perch is directly under that one, so it doesn't catch the poo. This one is his main feeding bowl. So what you do is, I got a nice deep one, and what you do is you just put a few things in there, and it can be simple like paper, right? And so you get the paper in there, and then they just kind of knock the paper out, throw it out, real simple, but they can still see the food. And so right now, if you want to angle the camera to look inside, can they see inside? So right now there's just a few things in there, and if your bird, again, wasn't neophobic, that might be how you start, or just start with some plain paper. And then as it gets more complicated, add some different objects and start to really bury it. And then they have to lift it out. It can be big. This little string's not totally safe. This one is. And then they have to lift it out and knock it around and do their stuff. And then, again, as you're advancing, if we look on the bottom of the cage, I've started to line, he still has his tray down here, right? So I take these papers out at night so he doesn't wake up in the morning and start eating poo before I get up, and old food, and at which point he poops on his tray papers. But down here, I put a few papers here and a few of his favorite treats. So here's a cookie that he's missed that he'll really enjoy later when he finds it. And then as he dumps these out, he dumps some more food, more things to have to dig under. Then he wasn't afraid of this, so I put this, and you can see he's worked on some food there. So he's got to go under that, knock the toys around, and then get his stuff. And then I do other things too. So you start with simple things. Again, you're worried about them being phobic and new to things, so this is just something somebody else shredded, and it's plenty open for him. And I would just put a couple of pieces in here, real simple, and then I'd put it in his cage, and he'd go find it, and I'd check to see if it was gone at the end of the day. Now I just put a handful of pieces, and I put a few of these little things, whatever, and I shove them back there. And it's something simple, but it makes him kind of explore more the bottom of this cage throughout the day and keeps him busy. Again, I have to be quite this advanced because he's a feather barber, but even if you do a few of these things and you just get it set up so it's really easy to do every day. Here's another one. Now this you have to be careful because if he starts to see this as a nesting opportunity, you start to worry. And one way you notice if he starts to shred things into it, right? So he starts to stuff things in there. He might shred the edges or something. He's bit that flap, which is fine. But I just monitor this. If I see him cuddling up in there, then this one is no longer an option. But for now, it's just another thing, just a handful of treats. Plop it in there. It gives him something to go explore, and then he's always kind of being engaged on the bottom of his floor. This one I gave him earlier. I stuffed these guys in here. And then I got some of these. This is from Ecotrition or something. They make these nice little things. Again, you can just use plain paper, shove it in there. Start with baby steps. I had to open this up for him. He's still not that good at breaking things open, but after I open it up, he's been just slowly working on it. But it's fine because I get to keep using the same box over and over, which makes it cheaper for me. You can make your own paper thing. So then this one, which I have all ready to go, I have layered. So again, baby steps. So the first thing I did was loose paper in this one. Plenty of visualizing of the food, so you know, just a handful of pieces of paper. You could still see the food around it, and then you could knock the food over. Then I could make this seal, plain piece of paper, fold 1 and 2, and just it'll seal once I press it against the hook. And then you can take a few of these cacti again, sprinkle them in steps. Then you can take a bigger piece of cactus and all the food's under there. You can see it. He definitely still gets bored easily. So one thing I do since he gets bored easily is I've pressed 2 little cookies right in there. These are organic food. So as he first gets through his paper and knocks this out, which he'll be able to do, he's already paying attention. He says, hey. Then he'll get a little mini reward, and then he'll have to work harder for more of the reward, which still only has to be a couple of pieces. Alright, so we take this, we clip it in. He's pretty keen, so I have to make sure I don't catch his toes. And then that gives him something to do. And it also, as I put more things in there, he associates more with me putting food in. It's like, oh, she's going to put food in there, she's going to put food in there, she's going to put food in there. Get him targeting on the millet or a little piece of whole oat. Get him doing that stuff. And then, you know, once he comes out on your hand and he's confident, then you can do the spin. And Barbara Heinrich has some really great videos. And all this adds to our communication. It makes him more comfortable. He says, I'm kind of full. Maybe I don't want to work for food. Come here, you. Step up. Step up. And we attempt to have him step up without the offer of the food reward, but we will use it as a lure as we're training and as needed. But we always start with it, and then we try to wean him away from it. He's kind of middling as to about weaning away from it. It depends more on his mood, and I'm a little bit indulgent.